The LA Rams last night did ultimately lose the Monday Night Football game to the Miami Dolphins, 23-15. The Rams were 4-4. They were on a roll going in this game. People are like, okay, Cooper Kupp's back, Puka's back, Williams is running the ball well. The defense is finally starting to get pressure on the quarterback. Matthew Stafford, 36-year-old, my ass. This man's a young man. They won 3 games in a row over the Raiders, over the Minnesota Vikings, and over the Seattle Seahawks at Seattle. But last night, they finally dropped that game. The three-game winning streak was snapped by the Miami Dolphins. Rams do drop to 4-5 on the season. They are now the 11th seed in the NFC playoff race, giving them just a 13% chance to make the playoffs. So, guys, is the Rams season all for naught? Is their season over? Sitting at 4-5, going into week 11, is their season over? The Rams got a very tough schedule in my eyes moving forward. They're playing a sneakily decent New England Patriots team. Really, really good on the defensive side of the ball, and the offense is improving. Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl team Philadelphia Eagles, I might add. The Saints, they won. Maybe things are starting to click again. Kind of a dangerous team, right? They did start season off 2-0, scoring like 93 points in those first 2 games. But then they play the Buffalo Bills, the San Francisco 49ers, the Jets, and then the Cardinals to end the season. Right? If the Rams were to make the playoffs, wild card opportunity kind of seems gone in my eyes. It's going to have to be a division championship for the Rams to make the playoffs, because when you look at the NFC playoff picture, you have 3 really, really good teams in the wild card that's probably going to end up with 11 wins. The Commanders, the Vikings, and then the Packers. So you're going to have to win the division at 9-8, 8-9 to sneak into those playoffs. So when we look at that, the question is, can the Rams win the NFC West title? That is the true question. But if you look at the division, currently in first place are the Arizona Cardinals. What? Yeah, those Arizona Cardinals. The same Arizona Cardinals that have been the bottom feeders of the NFC West for the last 3 or 4 seasons. They're sitting at 6-4. First in the division. Second in the division, the San Francisco 49ers. 5-4. Seahawks are tied with the Rams in third place at 4-5. Very, very tight race, right? A game or 2 separates everybody. When you look at the division, I feel that the Arizona Cardinals are waiting to fail. The Arizona Cardinals have kind of been playing on this lucky catch me if you can type of momentum, right? They have a 54% chance of winning the division and making it to the playoffs, but they do play some tough games moving forward. The Cardinals play the Seahawks twice in 3 weeks. Then they play the Vikings. Yes, those Minnesota Vikings that are a decent team still might get 8 wins, 9 wins. You never know. Slow it down, baby. But then they play the Rams and 49ers to end the season. Both division games. They do got some easier games, though. They do play the Panthers and Patriots. No, I can overlook and win those games, but they should blow them out, right? Cardinals should finish about with 8 wins, maybe 9. 49ers still have the games versus the Seahawks, Packers, Bills, and Rams, and Dolphins, and Lions, and Cardinals. Oh my Lord. Brutal schedule. The only gimme game is the Chicago Bears, and you don't even have to show up and you're going to win that game. So is the LA Rams season over? Can they win the division? Because they're not getting a wild card. I think the wild card is out the window from the NFC West. I think all the wild cards are going to come from the NFC North unless something tragic happens to the Minnesota Vikings and or Green Bay Packers. With that being said, guys, looking at their schedule moving forward, it's favorable, but also tough at the same time. Let's say they beat the Patriots. Let's say they beat the Saints. Let's say they beat the Jets and beat the Cardinals to end the season. That's 4 more wins. That gives them 8 wins on the season with losses to the Eagles, Bills, and 49ers. That gives them an 8-9 record to end the season. 8-9 record. Is that good enough to win the division? Potentially. Potentially, because when you look at the 49ers schedule, they play the Seahawks, Packers, Bills, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, and Cards. They're sitting at 5-4. Realistically, they're not going to win all of those games. Realistically, they're probably going to win in about 3. They can probably beat the Seahawks. They can potentially beat the Rams and beat the Dolphins. Maybe the Arizona Cardinals. I guess that would give them 9 wins. But that's a tough, right? The Cardinals already beat them once this season. Guys, it is going to be tough for the Rams to make it. Everything's going to have to click for them. Everything's going to have to be perfect for them moving forward because their defense, as much as they've improved the last 2 weeks, they're still a subpar defense. They're still not getting any pass rush. They're still not really linebacker play is pretty bad. Matthew Stafford is 36 years old, taking a beating. How much more of a beating can he take? And the running game. Where's Kyren Williams kind of been like all season? I understand I think he's leading the league in rushing, or not leading the league, but he's still a top 10 rusher. He's 12th in the NFL in rushing yards, second in attempts. But I'm not sold on the Rams, and I think this season is going to be a wash. Unfortunately, last season I was high on the Rams, right? I thought the Rams were going to win the West, and I thought they were going to make some noise in the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. They made a little noise by playing the Detroit Lions, but this season I'm going to have to write them off. I think the season is all for naught. So, guys, the question is, do you guys think the LA Rams are going to make the playoffs? Are they going to make the playoffs? My man John Peoples in the chat today. What's up, John? What up? It's done. Thank you. How's your sis doing? You guys are talking about family. I love the interaction. I love the family. And the Cards win the division, says John. John said the Arizona Cardinals are winning the division. They do have a 58% chance of winning that division, John, so that is a safe bet. But don't sleep on the 49ers. Laura says, aren't they playing the Vikings this go-around? The Rams already played the Vikings. Or are you talking about the Arizona Cardinals? The Arizona Cardinals play the Vikings soon. Let's look at when they play them exactly. They play them next week. So it is the Seahawks, Vikings, Seahawks. So they play the Seahawks next 2 of the 3 games with the Vikings smack dab in the middle of December 1st. Derek says the Niners are going to have to play their starters that last game, as they should. That game probably comes down to the division. Arizona Cardinals at home taking on the San Francisco 49ers. That is why it's a Week 18 game. It should be. Mark D says, I think the NFC West is very, very winnable for the LA Rams. It is very winnable, but they're not going to win it, Mark. They can be as winnable as you want. Hell, the NFC East is still very winnable for the Dallas Cowboys, right? They're not going to win it, but it's still very winnable. The Dallas Cowboys can get hot. They can win 6-7 games in a row and get that first place seat, right? They've done it before. They did it last year, hell. All the Eagles had to do was win 1 game of their final 7, and they couldn't do that. Boom, Dallas Cowboys. First place. It's doable, but it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Rams have very many injuries coming back from. Guys, these. Yes, the Rams are coming back from a lot of injuries, right? Kupp is back. Puka is back. They're getting healthy. They're getting right. But just like the Miami Dolphins, they're kind of in a too big of a hole now. 4-5 is not a huge hole, but the NFC is very, very well balanced. When you look at the NFC playoff picture, at the cream of the crop, number 1 seed right now, you have the one and only Detroit Lions, right? And then coming in at number 2, you have the hottest team in the NFL right now, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Then you have the Falcons, 6-4. Then you have the Cardinals, 6-4. Those are the top 4 seeds. But then your wild cards. Look at your wild cards. The Minnesota Vikings sitting at 5, 7-2. The Commanders, 7-3. The Green Bay Packers going to be 7-3 at the end of this week. You are going to have 10 wins to make a wild card. So you're going to have to win that division, and you have to take it from the Arizona Cardinals. Actually, I was misspoke. The Arizona Cardinals have a 60% chance of making the playoffs. The Seahawks and Rams, 10%. I just don't think that they can do it. I think they're wasting their efforts. I think they missed their opportunity to grow within the draft by trading Cooper Kupp to a team like the Steelers or the Buccaneers or a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. They missed that opportunity. They missed the opportunity to move on from Matthew Stafford. He's 36 years old. You do have a backup in Jimmy G that's very, very pliable, a very, very good backup. He could have saved face for the season, and you could have went out there and drafted a quarterback. The Rams missed their opportunity when they beat the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night football 3 days before the trade deadline. When they won that game, they're like, oh, all praise holla, right? But they messed up. Laura says, doubtful that they will make it. I'm pretty sure. And John says, nope. Meaning they're not going to make it. Not going to make it. James Berlin's in the chat. What's up, James? He says, Rams just can't stay healthy. I don't see a push from them. I think this 3-game winning streak that they were on, James, previously was their push. They needed this Miami Dolphins wins to really kind of push them up over the top because winning is contagious. Confidence is contagious. And they were getting confident. They were kind of getting that swagger back. But then, let's just be honest, a 2-6 Miami Dolphins team came into our house on Monday Night Football. We are finally, let's say, 90% healthy. Miami Dolphins are still probably about 70%, 80%. And they come out and they smacked us in the mouth. That sucks. That sucks a lot for them. But as Laura says, let's scroll back up here. The Rams deserve the loss because I'm so salty over them losing to the Vikings. So, guys, that is a question. Can the Rams make the playoffs? I'm saying no.